All right, so let's begin. Seeking ideas. We can receive more employee ideas when we seek solutions to specific topics. Although counterintuitive, focus often spurs more employee ideas. What this basically means is, as an organization, if we share our pain points with the people who work for us and work with us, then all of a sudden we can get people to focus on possible solutions and think of ideas that we may not be able to think about individually by ourselves. We can challenge our employees' creativity by providing them different topics, as well as providing them one topic at a time, which really allows them to focus. For example, it's the month of Jan, or it's the month of Feb, or March, or April, May, whatever it might be. We choose one particular topic for week one that we say, hey, as an organization, this is what we're finding really difficult. Does anyone have any ideas? Now, once we put it out there as an organization or as management, our job doesn't really end. Our job only begins when we put it out there. So we say, hey, this is what we're finding very difficult. Then we need to figure out the feedback mechanism. The feedback mechanism is how our employees will provide us with feedback. We can also look at external forums. So some organizations do a really good job of taking a particular problem, issue, something they're trying to resolve, and taking it externally to say, anybody out there have a solution to something that we're trying to solve? We can, of course, create internal forums. So have within our organization, groups of people working on particular aspects. We can create suggestion boxes, and suggestion boxes is a really simple old school method, which still has a lot of value. Toyota, for example, did a really good job back in, I believe, 80s and 90s with suggestion boxes. In particular, the concept was very simple. The company is really big. There are people in lots of different departments. So why don't we just put a suggestion box in every department? Throughout the month, employees working on whatever they're working on write their suggestions and ideas down. At the end of the month, as a team, they look at it. The ideas which have a lot of potential, they'll ask for further explanation. If the idea still seems worthwhile going with, then they put it into practice. If the idea or the suggestion ends up providing benefits, then the reward of that benefit gets shared. So really cool way of doing it. At the same time, organizations can create workshops, brainstorming sessions, and even have focus groups working on particular ideas or on particular challenges. So a lot of different things we can do to seek ideas from within as well as external to our organization. When it comes to external, we can also look at hiring consultants to come in and have a look at our organization. We can have prizes or competition to encourage people from outside of our organization to give us additional ideas as well. So a lot of different things we can do. One of my favorite things to do is look at industry best practices. And this is something that I think businesses should do more often. Regardless of the industry you're in, think to yourself, who is really good in this industry at whatever challenge? It might be customer service. It might be operations. It might be production. It might be anything, right? Innovation. So you look at who are the best company or the best companies in this particular field, and you go, well, what are they doing? And try to replicate that in some way. Not the actual solution itself, but the process that they do to get to that solution. So that's another really good way of doing it. So seeking ideas. As an organization, I believe we also need to be proactive when we're seeking ideas, meaning not just expect people or wait for people to come to us and go, hey, here's a problem, here's a potential solution. But instead, as an organization, we should be proactive and go out and say, look, here are the challenges. Does anyone have any ideas? Put it out there.